The family, indeed, of Matthew Fitzpatrick have been on this programme, I would say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times at this stage, looking for justice for Matthew in relation to the family strongly believe that their son, stroke brother, was murdered indeed by people who knew what they were doing. We've told you the story before. This all happened and unfolded in Germany a number of years ago, and what the family have been doing is trying to get the German authorities to reopen the whole case and have a fresh look at it, and they have failed to do so. I was actually sitting reading the papers over the weekend, and lo and behold I came across piece in the Irish Independent on Saturday in relation to Matthew's case, but his brother Patrick Fitzpatrick and all of the rest of the family have been really fighting hard on this one, but hitting block walls. Patrick, again, when I saw it and saw the trauma that the family have gone through, you want the German authorities though to take this seriously. Is there nothing that our government can do to get them to open this case and have a new look at it?
I'm sure there's plenty that the government can do, Keith, and thanks again for having me on. We've had failed attempts with Mr. Gilmore, who was the Minister for Foreign Affairs, who in the end, or this year when we wrote to him, have failed to acknowledge and even respond back to our letters. We've recently made the same attempt to contact Charlie Finnegan, and 2 months ago we received an acknowledgement of our letter, but yet he still hasn't made any kind of approach to us. He's not responded to our letter personally, and he's not responded to our request to meet with him to discuss the case. It's a very simple thing for the Minister for Foreign Affairs to stand up and make a statement, because they've done it in the past. Mr. Gilmore has done it in previous cases, and recently Mr. Finnegan has done it for the case of an Irish citizen in Egypt. We can't figure out why they're not responding or turning their back on our fight for justice. It's very clear on the evidence that we have, and if Mr. Finnegan took the time to sit down with us and to familiarise himself with our case, to look at the true facts behind the case and all of our evidence, he would be shocked with what the German authorities have done, and with their what can only be described as an unprofessional and corrupt investigation. Now, the German media haven't picked up on this either, or have they? No, we've made numerous attempts with the German media to publish our fight for justice, but that has fallen on deaf ears. Now, we believe, and we can't say for certain, but we believe that the German media would be checking it out with the police, and obviously the police are going to make their stand. So that's why they haven't made any approach. But we want to put pressure on the German media, and we're going to start an email campaign via the justiceformatthew.com website, where we're going to we want emails to be sent out to 3 or 4 of the radio and TV channels and newspapers out there, because they do need to publish this case. There's people certainly in the Mannheim area that will know what happened to Matthew that night. And it's important that the German public over there see the true facts as well as this case, and people may come forward and help and support us as well. But I started up by saying in my intro that you're hitting a block wall everywhere you go. How many more block walls can you as a family take? Well, we can take as many as they put up. I mean, the one thing that the German authorities don't realise is that we're an extremely determined family. Matthew was one of 9, and all of us play a very specific role in fighting for justice. So the Germans should realise by now that we're not going away, and we're going to be very determined. The Irish government should be aware that we're not going away either. There's no way that Matthew is going to become another statistic. And if the German authorities think that we're going to accept their negligence and their corruption, they're completely wrong. And it might be many years of a battle we have, but we are going to fight that battle, and we're determined to do so because Matthew deserves justice, certainly for what happened to him and for what he endured that night. It's shocking. I mean, if they want to go to the Justice for Matthew, what's your website again? Justice for Matthew. It's justiceformatthew.com, and we also have we've set up a Twitter handle as well, which is at justice4 number 4 and then Matt. So it's justice number 4 and then Matt. If we can get people support on our email campaigns, we still have the email campaigns directed towards Charlie Flanagan to actually stand up and contact the family. and also the German authorities, the Attorney General in Germany. But we will be putting up the media campaign targeting the German media later on today. So it's just all we're asking for people to do is to copy and paste an email, to send it out to the authorities and to the German media, so that we can get more focus on this case.
Can I ask you, could the Minister indeed, Charlie Finnegan, could he get the Irish Gardaí involved in this? Or Interpol, or somebody who would actually take an unjaundiced look at this?
Well, we had met with recently. We had met with the Gardaí that were involved. When Matthew was repatriated back to Ireland, the Gardaí that were involved. We have also made communication with the Garda Commissioner to request a meeting with her, along with back then it was along with Eamon Gilmore and Alan Chatter, who were both in their positions. Now, we got an acknowledgement letter from the Garda Commissioner, but there was no further correspondence. They said they were going to get back in touch with us, but they haven't, and that was about 5 months ago. You know, so it's this constant letter writing that we're doing, which is just being ignored. We don't understand why the Gardaí wouldn't take it more serious. We've provided evidence to them, and they have not commented on it because they can't. But the meeting we had with the two Garda officers in Dublin, they said that it's not. They have no authority to do anything unless they're told to do it, and that's down to the Garda Commissioner to get involved in this.
We'll use whatever contacts we have. We don't have too many contacts in Germany, I have to say, but somebody may be listening to us online who will be in a position to help, indeed, the Fitzpatrick family. And if you can, would you be good enough to just call us here at 091 770 We will put you in contact with Patrick and his family, and from there you might be retired home here from the judicial system in Germany. You might just, all the family want is this to be reconsidered again, and as the title for the website goes, Justice for Matthew, because they have overwhelming information, which I've seen the graphics of, including autopsy reports and otherwise. They have overwhelming information stating that this was not a suicide, this was clearly a murder. Patrick Fitzpatrick, thank you for taking a call this morning. Now let's take a short commercial break. Before I do that, though,